Hello everyone and welcome back to FunMathology. Now today it is part 2 of integers, right? So this is our lesson objectives. In the last class or in the last lecture I have told you that we'll be taking up these areas today in the part 2. So what are the objectives? First one is comparing numbers and ordering. Second one is opposites. Third one is absolute values, and fourth one will be few quick exercises so that you can brush up your skills that you have learned in this and the last class. So let's jump in then. So this is the first one, comparing and ordering of integers. Now remember student, in the earlier lecture we have defined integers and we have learned about integers. What are they? So they are a combination of positive numbers, negative numbers and 0. We have also learned certain few real life examples we have seen, and we have also learned about representing integers on a number line. Now see, I have already drawn a number line. At the center point it's 0, on the right hand side is positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the left hand side it is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 and minus 5. Now, if this has been represented, we can say that integers on the right are greater than integers on the left. So you take any integers. See this integer, or maybe say, let's say this one, 2, right? So let's say 2. See, it is on the right of 1. So we can say, as per our theory, we can say, so we will take an example. So we can say 2 is greater than 1. So please remember, integers on the right are always greater than integers on the left. So we'll take another example. 0 is greater than minus 1. 0 is greater than minus 1. So this is the sign of greater than, right? So now you might be asked to compare 5 and 4. Now you can see 5 is on the right of 4. So we can say 5 is greater than 4. Now this is easy. We have been seeing from a few years, right? So we know that, okay sir, this is 5 is greater than 4, we know it. Now if you have been asked to compare two negative integers like minus 5 and minus 2, right? Now look at the number line. So where is 5? So here is 5. And where is 2? Here is 2. So which one is on the right of which? So minus 2 is on the right of minus 5. That is why we can say minus 2 is greater than minus 5. Got it? Now, if you have a number line, you can easily compare integers, right? Also remember, if you are requested to find predecessors, right? So you can see predecessors means a number before another number. So let's say predecessor of 5. So this one is 4. So successor, let's say successor of 3 is 4. See, so one number after the given number is a successor. So we can easily tell that predecessor is when you are requested or asked to find a predecessor. So what you need to do, you just subtract 1 from the number, right? See, subtract 1 from the number, you get the predecessor. So when you have been asked to find out the successor of a given number, you just add 1 to the given number. So remember this, right? Now there are a few points I want to say here. So what are the points? See, you can see all the positive integers, right? See, all the positive integers till infinity, right, are greater than 0. So positive integers are greater than 0. You can see are greater than 0. So obviously all the negative integers are on the left of 0. So we can say easily that all negative integers are less than 0, right? So evidently, so these are negative integers, right? So we can say that all the positive integers are greater than negative integers. So all the positive integers are greater than negative integers, right? Now if you are comparing two negative integers, like if you are comparing two negative integers, smaller out of the two negative one is always greater between those. For example, say if I am comparing, let's see, -5 -2, so which one is the smaller one with a negative sign? So 2. So obviously -2 will be greater than -5. So remember these key points. Got it? So let's come to the next objective, that is ordering integers, right? So we have done comparing, now ordering integers. So let's take an example. So we have few integers, 3, -1, 0, -4 and 2. Now you have been asked to arrange these integers in an ascending order, which means smaller to greater, and you have been asked to arrange this in descending order, that is greater to smaller. Now what you need to do, so you can do it by drawing a number line. Let's draw a number line here. Center point is 0. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 is the limit. So you can see in the positive end, and 1 and -4 is the limit in the negative end. So -2, -3 and -4. Now you can easily tell if the numbers are been arranged in the number line. See, we have done that. Now we can pick up the numbers and say which one is the greater or which one is the smaller. So let's say we arrange them in ascending order, right? Ascending order. So what is ascending order? Smaller to greater. So which one is the smaller? See, -4. So -4 is the smaller. We write -4. Next is which one is the smaller? Then after -4 is -1 in the number line. Then comes 0. See, 0. Then comes 2. Then comes 3. See, it's easy, right? Now descending will be just the opposite. Descending order, right? Greater to smaller. 3, 2, 0, -1, -4, right? So now you can order integers either in an ascending order or descending order. Be very, very careful when you are arranging negative integers, right? Always remember this one. Got it? The last point I have told you, that if you are comparing two negative integers, the smaller number of the negative integer is always greater between the two. Okay, next come to opposite integers. Now what is opposite integers? Now opposite of a number is is at the same distance from 0 but on the other side. Got it? For example, see 4 here, right? So from 0, so you have to go 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now if you are required to find out the opposite number of 4, it is just on the other side of 0 but at the same distance. So let's go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's minus 4. So we can say opposite of plus 4 is minus 4. Got it? Similarly, we can say another example, opposite of, let's say, minus 2 is plus 2, or you can write simple 2 plus 2, right? So what is opposite of 0? It is at the center position. So opposite of 0 is 0. So it will not change. Got it? So let's come to the third point, that is absolute value. Now what is the definition of absolute value? Now absolute value is the distance from 0 which is always non-negative, or you can say it is a numerical value without any sign. Without any sign means not even positive or not even negative. Now what is the notation? So what is the notation? How it is being expressed? Like if x is an integer, so we use 2 bars on the two side of x, means example like minus 4, absolute value of minus 4. What I said that it is a numerical value without any sign. So it will be this one only but without any sign. So it will have no negative or positive. Similarly, we can take another example. Let's say absolute value of 0 is 0. We can also say absolute value of 5 is 5. Do not write positive, just 5. Now, if you get a question like this, compare minus 3, absolute value of minus 3 and absolute value of 2. So which one is greater? So you know that absolute value of minus 3 is 3 and absolute value of 2 is 2. So which one is greater? 3 is greater than 2, right? So you'll be able to solve few problems based on this concept. You'll also be able to solve problems based on opposite integers and comparing and ordering integers, right? So we have gone through these basic few points. I have told you the concepts, and let's enter into quick exercise, right? Quick exercises. So the concepts that we have gone through this class, this lectures and in the earlier lectures, so these questions are based on what we have studied so far. So let's come to the first one. See, represent with an appropriate integers. So what is the question? 160 kilometer below the sea level. So if you have gone through my earlier lecture, the last lecture, you know the mean sea level is supposed to be 0 and below the sea level is supposed to be negative. So we have to write minus 160 kilometer. Got it? Now temperature of 2 degrees centigrade below the freezing point of water. Now freezing point of water, you must have remembered, if you have seen the earlier video, that freezing point of water is 0 degree. So 0 degree centigrade. So 2 degree centigrade below 0 degree centigrade is what? Minus 2 degree centigrade. Got it? Now 200 meter to the north. North is positive. Remember in the direction point we have discussed, north is positive, south is negative. So we will write 200 meter. 10 steps to the left. Right is positive, left is negative. So we will write minus 10. So let us come to the second category of question, opposites. You have to write the opposite of what is there in the question. 10 kilometer to the north. So what will be the opposite of it? Simple, 10 kilometer to south. So profit of rupees 100. So it will be loss of rupees 100. 8, opposite will be minus 8. 10 years later, simple will be 10 years ago. So you might get questions such as these, very simple questions. Now let's come to the last section of the quick exercises and of our lecture today, that is predecessor and successor. You might be given a question, what is the successor of 10? Very simple. I told you, if you are asked to find out the successor, just add 1. So 10 plus 1 is 11. What is the predecessor of 0? I told you, just subtract 1 from it, you will get predecessor. So 0 minus 1 is minus 1. Or you can also take the help of a number line to find out the predecessor of 0. Successor of minus 40 is minus 39. What is the predecessor of minus 11? Is minus 12. Got it? So this will be the end of the lecture today. But before I leave, I have a question for you. What is the absolute value of the smallest negative integer? What is the absolute value of the smallest negative integer? Let me know in the comment box. I hope you have enjoyed today's lecture. So in the part 3 of the next lecture, we'll cover topics like how to add integers using number line and how to add integers without using the number line. So students, thanks for watching. We'll meet soon. Have a great day. Bye bye.